Imagine you're sitting at home scrolling through your phone. Suddenly, the screen slips out of your hand, but instead of falling to the floor, it drifts upward, spinning slowly toward the ceiling. You reach out to grab it, but your chair tilts, your feet lift off the ground, and you realize you're floating too. Now look outside. Cars slide off the roads, rising into the air like balloons cut loose from strings. Streetlights, mailboxes, and trees break free from the ground. The entire world is lifting, piece by piece. The oceans swell upward, waves curling into the sky. Rivers stretch into glowing ribbons, twisting into the air like they're alive. Clouds scatter as the very atmosphere begins to drift away. And you, along with everyone else, are helpless. There's nothing to hold you down, no way to grab on, no warning. What if gravity, the invisible force that has kept you grounded since the moment you were born, suddenly just stopped working? Gravity, it feels ordinary, almost boring. You drop a pen, it falls. You jump, you come back down. But gravity is anything but ordinary. It's the silent hand shaping everything you know. It's the reason your coffee doesn't float out of the cup every morning. It's the reason oceans stay wrapped around Earth instead of spilling into space. It's the reason the moon orbits us, giving us tides, nights lit by silver light, and a calendar that has guided humanity for thousands of years. And it doesn't stop there. Gravity is why the Earth itself clings to the sun, tracing a perfect path through space instead of drifting into the cold void. Without gravity, planets wouldn't exist, stars wouldn't hold together, and galaxies wouldn't form. It's the glue of the cosmos, the one constant that makes life possible. So here's the question. What happens if that glue suddenly vanishes? What happens if the one force holding everything in place is gone? The moment gravity disappears, the world as you know it explodes into chaos. The first thing you'd notice is the impossible. Objects that were once grounded now float freely. Your furniture, your car, even your pets would lift off the floor, twisting and spinning in every direction. Chairs slam into ceilings, tables drift into walls, and everything that isn't nailed down becomes a dangerous projectile. Humans aren't safe either. Your body, which has always been held in place, suddenly becomes weightless. You start to rise, your arms flailing as the air pulls you upward. Panic spreads instantly. People grab at each other, at walls, at anything. But there's nothing solid to hold on to. Even a simple act like standing or walking is impossible. Every step becomes a flight into the unknown. Water doesn't behave the way it's supposed to. Oceans swell into massive clouds of droplets. Rivers spiral upward, and lakes lift off their beds, scattering across the atmosphere. Drinking water, swimming pools, and even rain no longer follow the rules you've always known. Air itself starts to disperse, carrying with it the oxygen you need to breathe. Suddenly, survival becomes a race against time. Buildings and infrastructure begin to fail. Skyscrapers aren't designed to float. They collapse, crumbling into pieces or tipping over in slow motion. Bridges twist and snap. Roads crack as the weight they were built to support disappears. Cars, buses, and trains lift and drift into the sky, colliding with anything in their path. Even the smallest, most mundane objects become lethal. Pens, cups, and smartphones drift at unpredictable speeds, smashing into walls or people. Chaos reigns in seconds, and the world you thought was stable is gone. The laws you took for granted no longer apply, and every human instinct is tested against an environment that no longer obeys gravity's rules. It's not just an inconvenience, it's an immediate, life-threatening disaster. And as terrifying as this sounds, this is only the beginning, the first shockwave in a chain reaction that will ripple through the entire planet, through the oceans, the atmosphere, and even the orbit of the moon. What comes next is even more unimaginable. The chaos on Earth is just the beginning. The real nightmare starts when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because gravity isn't just keeping you on the ground, it's keeping the entire planet in place. Right now, Earth is locked in a delicate dance around the sun, moving at nearly 30 kilometers every single second. That orbit only works because gravity keeps pulling us inward, balancing out our forward motion. But if gravity suddenly vanished, that invisible leash would snap instantly. Earth wouldn't circle the sun anymore. it would shoot straight off into space like a car flying off the curve of a racetrack. The sun itself wouldn't be able to hold on to any of its planets. Mercury, Venus, Mars, all of them would break free and streak into the darkness. The entire solar system would dissolve in a matter of moments, every planet and moon drifting in random directions. And speaking of moons, our own would be gone in an instant. Right now, the moon is held in orbit around Earth by gravity. Without that tether, it would continue on in a straight line, drifting endlessly through space. No moon means no tides. No tides means entire coastal ecosystems collapse. The natural rhythm of life that has guided Earth for billions of years would be erased in a heartbeat. Satellites, space stations, and anything orbiting our planet would suffer the same fate. The International Space Station, GPS satellites, communication arrays, all of them rely on gravity to circle Earth. Without it, they'd float away into space, leaving our world suddenly cut off from navigation, global communication, and weather forecasting. Planes couldn't fly, rockets couldn't launch. Humanity would be stranded on a planet that's rapidly becoming unrecognizable. But it doesn't stop with us. Imagine looking up at the night sky. Galaxies are spirals bound together by the pull of billions of stars. If gravity ceased, those structures would unravel. Stars would scatter, planets would be flung into the void, entire galaxies would smear apart until the universe itself became nothing but loose, drifting matter. And here's the terrifying truth. This wouldn't take thousands of years. The unraveling would begin instantly. In the same moment you float from your chair, Earth would lose the sun. The moon would leave our skies. The stars themselves would begin their slow escape from the galaxies they've always called home. Gravity isn't just holding us down, it's holding everything together. Without it, the order of the cosmos collapses into pure chaos. Now let's pull the camera back even farther. If gravity disappears, the disaster isn't just planetary, it's cosmic. Stars, those blazing furnaces that light up the night, only exist because gravity holds them together. Gravity squeezes hydrogen atoms so tightly at the core of a star that nuclear fusion ignites, releasing the heat and light that bathe the universe. Take gravity away and stars lose their grip. Their burning hearts sputter out. They unravel, scattering gas and dust into the void. The night sky that has inspired humans for millennia would dim, then fade until nothing remained but darkness. Galaxies, the great cities of the universe, are shaped by gravity's hand. It organizes billions of stars, nebulae, and planets into spirals and clusters. Remove it, and galaxies stretch apart like strands of smoke. Their beautiful shapes collapse into chaos, scattering their stars into lonely isolation. The Milky Way itself, the home of Earth, would dissolve into a loose, unrecognizable cloud. On the largest scale, gravity is what knits the entire universe into a structure. Massive clusters of galaxies, cosmic filaments that stretch across unimaginable distances. All of them exist because of the gentle tug of gravity, linking one piece to another. Without it, the very fabric of the universe loses its order. Structures crumble. The web of galaxies frays. Everything drifts into cold, empty nothingness. Think about that for a moment. Not just the end of Earth, not just the end of the sun, the end of everything. The universe, which took billions of years to grow into its vast and beautiful form, would collapse into silence in the absence of this one force. It's almost impossible to wrap your head around, but here's the truth. Without gravity, there is no cosmos, no stars, no galaxies, no light, no life. Gravity isn't just a force, it is the architect of existence. Without it, everything we know, everything we see, everything we are, simply unravels. For us, the human story ends almost immediately. The instant gravity disappears, the air we need to breathe begins to slip away. Within minutes, oxygen thins, the sky fades, and suffocation follows. Even if you could somehow hold on to a building or cling to a tree, there would be no air to keep you alive. Food and water? Gone. Lakes and oceans rise into the void, plants and crops float away, animals drift helplessly into the sky. The entire food chain collapses in a matter of hours. Shelter wouldn't matter either. Homes, skyscrapers, bridges, structures built to resist storms and earthquakes were never designed for a world without weight. They would tear apart, fragment, and drift upward like rubble caught in an invisible flood. And survival time? Not days, not weeks. Humanity wouldn't have time to adapt or prepare. The end would be swift. Within minutes, every living creature on Earth would face the same fate, lifted from the ground, starved of air, and lost to the darkness above. For all our technology, all our history, all our achievements, gravity is the one thing we could never live without. Take it away, and so goes everything we've ever known. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you want curious questions answered, have a look at some of our other videos.